Welcome back to Poor Brothers Whiskey. I'm David. This is Mike. Tonight we're getting into the little book, Infinite.
Infinity?
Infinity?
Infinity.
Infinite.
It's definitely Infinity.
Getting into some little book.
All right. I'm going to say it right now. I'm not a Jim Beam guy.
Not a big one either.
No.
And to be honest, I really don't know much about this bottle except maybe it's kind of like the Wild Turkey Generations. Grandfather, father, son, all had something to do with this blend.
Exactly. So, yeah, the blend is actually pretty insane. That was a good pop, by the way.
Thank you.
Give me the mic, sir.
Yeah.
So here's the blend. Okay. So out of Booker No's component, that is 20 years aged whiskey. Out of Freddie No, you got 14-year, or Fred No, excuse me. Then out of Freddie No, you've got 7-year, and then what's called a shared family component. You've got 8-year aged whiskey, and all of that is blended in here. And the whole point is to make an infinity bottle. And so what they did, if I read correctly, which that is a stretch, is to they're going to bottle 70% of these, keep 30% in a tank. And then on the next batch 2, they'll go ahead and use that as the foundation for the next one, creating the ever elusive infinity bottle every single year.
I believe Old Elk did that a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure I had an infinity bottle from Old Elk, and I think they came out with another one the following year. But when I first got into whiskey, I was really interested in Old Elk, and then I got a couple of them. It's like, they're all right. Like,
yeah.
It just, all of a sudden, I kind of lost interest. But I thought that infinity bottle was the best one. I think it was a 2022.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really dove into infinity bottles, period, or anything like that. I have had Generations from Wild Turkey, and that was pretty solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited. There hasn't really been anything crazy limited edition coming out of Jim Beam. I feel like it's some time. I may be wrong there, but like you have the Booker's Reserves, and now you've got the Infinity. Pretty excited about it because, like I said, not a huge Jim Beam guy for the most part, especially when it comes to their little book and Booker's series. It's just not my cup of tea. But you know what? I've heard good things about this. It's making people who don't believe believers.
Yeah.
So
I had there was a while where I was really big into Bookers. I had an entire row back of nothing but Bookers.
Yeah.
I loved them at first. I thought that they all differed a lot. And then one random night, I had a Booker's flight with my father, and it was like, they're all okay. I don't know. All of a sudden, it just kind of, sort of like the Old Elk. I lost interest in them. So
yeah.
I actually just got rid of my last Booker's the other night. Because of that, I haven't bought either one of these. I was thinking I was going to buy Reserves, and then I tried it. Not the biggest fan of it. I do think it's much better than the other Bookers that have come out in the last few years. I think Country Ham was one of the last ones that was really, really good to me, and all the rest were just mediocre. Reserves is definitely better, but not the best. This one I've heard great things about, so I'm pretty excited for it. Off the bat, it's nutty, but it's not like in your face nutty. It's super light.
Yeah, not a fan of nuts in my mouth at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Could have fooled me.
But yeah, that's actually a big gripe of mine against Jim Beam, or at least when it comes to the Bookers and the Little Book, is nuttiness. I mean, that is all I ever get, and it's just not my thing. It's overpowering. I'm with you. It's the first thing you get, which I guess is kind of the trademark here, but it's not overpowering. And so I also get some oak, which is nice, which makes sense with the older whiskeys that are in here. But yeah, already a pretty nice nose on here. Sweeter, I'm not really getting spice out of that. There's vanilla, like a little bit of caramel in there. I don't know.
I couldn't help it. I went ahead and took a sip. That's a lot better than any of the Bookers I've tried recently.
Okay, yeah.
Except,
I can get behind that.
Our friend Kyle, he had given Matt a sample of a 92 Bookers from 1992. That was exceptional. And it's funny, there's no typical Beam nuttiness in that bottle at all.
Really?
It wouldn't say it's quite a dusty. Maybe it is a dusty at 92, but it was very good. This is probably the closest thing to that, in my opinion. It's not nutty at all. It is on the nose, but on the palate, I really don't get that.
No, I would agree with you there. What is the proof on this bad boy? 119.3. Okay. I will say, it kind of drinks its proof. Because, I mean,
yeah,
it's got a little bit of that burn. You get a little bit of that Kentucky hug in you. But, yeah, that's sweeter. Like, the nose leads you to...
It drinks easy.
Yeah, the nose leads you to believe you're getting some nuttiness, some oak, and then you get into the palate, and now you're like... It's a sweeter taste. And, I mean, trying to describe that sweetness I'm getting at.
It's hard for me to pinpoint what I'm getting on the palate because I feel like my senses are a little confused, this being beam, and then in the nose I get it a little bit, but the palate, not at all.
No. I get kind of caramel. I get caramel, like a tiny bit of honey in there. It's definitely sweeter nose for me. I don't get like any spice. I get some oak. I get like sweet oak, right? Which again, expected. You got a lot of old whiskey in here, which is nice.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of old whiskey in here, you kind of figure it's going to be oak forward, and you don't get that either.
I may have to buy one of these, man.
Really?
I was really thinking I wasn't. I figured I'd like it to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, it's fine. But no, it's better than fine. I think that's actually pretty damn good.
I believe I said at the top of the video, it is making non-believers believers, and we just witnessed it, my friends. I'm with you though. I bought this with a little bit of skepticism. It retails for $200, so the price tag is hefty. So you kind of hope it delivers at that price range. Personally, I think it does. I mean, the wow factor for me is probably going to make me a little biased towards like, damn, this is pretty good. Removing that aside though,
yeah,
I think it's still damn good. The mix you get from the palate versus the nose, two entirely different ball games. I mean, they're not the same.
Right.
And so like you get a nice surprise there, and it's easy to drink. Good proof.
I wish it was a little cheaper, but what are you gonna do? Today's market, $200 for a damn good whiskey is kind of a good deal. Maybe not a good deal, but
well, unfortunately,
it's to be expected.
Unfortunately, that's where distilleries are headed. So yeah, I mean, you're right. $200 is nothing to sneeze at, but that is where most distilleries are pricing their limited edition bottles, and this is one of them for Jim Beam. So no surprise there when it comes to the price tag. But if this is a yearly release, I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited for the next one.
This being the foundation of Batch 2.
Yeah.
Like that actually gets me pretty excited. So for me, I don't think it's like the best bottle in the world. I would rate this probably a 7.6. That's my rating for it. It's good. I'll come back to it, and it's a buy. I think it's a buy for me.
I would definitely buy it. I'd be interested to see how it actually opens up.
Yeah.
This bottle's been open 10 minutes.
Yeah, fresh crack. And
most things that I get on a fresh crack, sorry to interrupt.
No.
There's so much ethanol. There's like this taste of ethanol that you get that you can almost, if you can taste the flavors past that, you're like, okay, when this opens up and that goes away, this is going to be a really good bottle.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that on this.
No.
This is good instantly.
That's probably,
that's
a great
rare
point.
in whiskey, I feel like.
That's a great point. No, on a fresh crack, it's as good as we're saying it is. I can only imagine a month from now what it's going to drink like. So yeah, this would be something I'm actually pretty excited to come back to.
Very good. I actually like that a lot. So
1 to 10, what are you giving it?
2.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I would agree 7 probably.
Okay.
6 or a 7. I'm just not notoriously a big Beam fan. This is much better than most Beams, so I'd say 7.
Okay.
Or your score 7.6.
That's pretty good.
Right around on the same page there.
Is it a buy?
I think so.
Okay.
I think I was mixing up in my head reserves and Little Book. So I was thinking this was like 130 MSRP at first. I was like, I definitely need one of these.
Sure.
$200. I probably will end up, like if I go into a store and they've got one sitting there at MSRP, I'll probably end up picking it up.
Yeah. And honestly, right now would probably be the perfect time to buy this, because even on secondary, it's like $220. I mean, it doesn't hold the secondary value right now. probably
reserves is more than that on secondary at the moment.
Yeah, it's just as much. But I mean, yeah, right now is the time to buy if you're gonna buy it. Who knows how many there's gonna be towards the end of the year, and that'll obviously increase the price secondary. But yeah, it doesn't have too much right now behind it. But
I love that they come with these little. This one is actually like a little book. The old ones used to just be, I think, a tag, kind of sitting out on the bottle.
Yeah.
This is cool though, man.
Yeah, presentation. I mean, this is probably the sexiest bottle of 2024. Ooh. It's not even close. It's a 10.
I do like what they did differently with the box. Like if you look at, I've got a Booker's here, a Reserve's actually waiting for a friend of mine. Look at all that dust that is on the.
Yeah, the glass definitely kind of.
The plastic is just ridiculous in my opinion. That's kind of gotten old to me.
Yeah.
This looks 10 times better. Just a little slit.
Yeah, agreed.
Beautiful. Love the packaging. I actually really like the whiskey.
Well, with that being said, I think that makes it a winner and a buy for the both of us. We're going to walk away from this, and yeah, we're loving this one, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's very good.
Yeah. With that being said, appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe, like, you know what to do. Until next time, see ya.